Stealing Africa by Shana Rahman. How many times have you heard the term poor people in Africa? Well, you probably have, as the media tends to portray Africa as a dry and famine-ridden continent, but in reality, it's not. In fact, Africa has trillions of dollars worth of natural resources, including gold, copper, and fruits, and diamonds. So why is Africa poor? Well, there's three reasons: colonization, corruption, and trade. Colonization. The Europeans came to Africa, but why did they come? Well, economic reasons. To build trade, make more profits, expanding economies, and excel in the Industrial Revolution. Two, political reasons. They just wanted to expand their empires and they had a lot of competition with other countries. Their countries. Three, social reasons. There was a lot of overpopulation in Europe, so there are a lot of jobless and homeless people. And in order to cure this, they created new capital industries, but they needed factories for this. And for factories, they needed raw materials, which came from Africa. Thus, the scramble for Africa began, which was basically where a lot of European countries argued over who would get to colonize which part of Africa, and they were all competing against each other. The Europeans started the triangular trade, which was where African slaves were traded for raw materials, which were traded for finished goods. It was very detrimental to the slaves, and it came around in a triangle, hence the name. Corruption. Corruption began in the very root of Africa, its government. Presidents would spend their money on cars, vacations, jewelry, and even house building. They were driven by the money and fully corrupted. Next, rebel groups have fully taken over Central African countries like the DRC and their industries like the diamond industry, which is now known as the blood diamond industry, because they force people to do dangerous jobs, resulting in injuries and human rights violations. And they're still active now. Trade. Africa exports more out of its country than it does import, which results in a huge imbalance in trade and a trade deficit of $1.8 billion. This does not help their crumbling economy.